started the recording.
Okay. It is a wonderful morning in Atlanta, Georgia, in the city of Forest Park, Clayton County. I'm coming live with the doctor himself, the one who's very much experienced with regard to scholarship. So my name is Levi Msende, the owner of To the End TV, where we talk about how you can migrate to America through DV Rotary. But today we've diversified on how you can get yourself to the USA and get the best education you want to get. So I have with me here Dr. Brian, who is a bona fide Zambian, who's going to give himself a brief history about himself and how he has acquired this scholarship. Doc, it's your floor.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Levims, and it's always wonderful to interact with you outside of this folder, and more so, it's actually wonderful that you've invited me to actually, share my, experience when it comes to scholarships and things like that. So my name is Dr. Brian Maila. I'm a medical doctor by profession who is specialized in psychiatry. And I am actually based in Zambia, but I've had, opportunities of benefiting from scholarships from as far back as I can remember. So thank you so much for inviting me.
You are very much welcome, Doctor, and we are very happy because we know that the information that you share here has never been shared to anybody else, and people get it as fresh from the farm. So I have some few questions that I would want you to answer to me so that people can get these answers, questions on themselves. So the first question is, what is a scholarship? Other people would wonder, what is a scholarship? So what is a scholarship?
So when we talk about a scholarship, basically, in simple terms, what we mean is basically some form of funds which, you are given so that you can pursue your studies or professional development with ease. That is, without having to worry about, footing the bill from your pocket or from your own sources of fund. And that way you can actually focus on your studies as opposed to looking for money so that you can, pay for your studies. Yeah, so that's basically in a nutshell what I can say scholarships are all about. And then I can simply go a little bit further here to say that scholarships can actually be partial so that they actually cushion on your expenses. Yeah, for example, some universities may just say they'll fund your tuition fees and then you'll be able to sort out your living expenses. And other scholarships can actually be fully funded, and such scholarships can actually cover, anything from, travel expenses, visa expenses, as well as living costs and, full tuition. And, as you have known from your country and from my country, and indeed our countries, and even the countries abroad, education can be very, very expensive. And it is these scholarships which help to actually ease the burden on us when it comes to pursuing these, programs in these universities. Thank you so much.
Okay. So Doc, some people will be wondering, who qualifies for a scholarship? Be it undergraduate or graduate, who qualifies for these scholarships? Maybe you can also explain to people so that they know if they qualify or they don't qualify.
Yeah, so when it comes to scholarships, scholarships in and of themselves will actually come with eligibility criteria. And so it's important when you look at the scholarship opportunity to actually pay attention to the admission requirements and eligibility criteria for that particular scholarships. So for example, some scholarship may be country specific. And this is because of relationships that, the country that is giving the scholarship and the country that is receiving the scholarship might have, the relationships that these two countries may have. There may be relationships that are called bilateral relationships. And so such countries will give scholarships based on the bilateral relationships. So for example, the Chinese government may give scholarships to an African country, or the Chinese government may give scholarships to African countries. So in that case, then the relationship will be what is called a multilateral bilateral relationship, whereby one country has got multiple relationships with different countries from a particular region. So there will be scholarships which will be given in those lines. And then there will be scholarships that will be based on academic excellence, for example. So if somebody performed really well at high school, they may benefit from academic excellence scholarships that are offered by universities themselves. And then there are universities which tend to give scholarships on the basis of cultural diversity. And so they will give scholarships to candidates who will be able to come into this university and share their culture, maybe with the residents within the communities that surrounds that particular university. So based on cultural diversity, and there may be a lot of other factors that may be considered. And then one other factor that becomes key is age, limits. So some scholarship may have age limits and may require one to be up to the age of 35, whereas others may require one to be up to the age of 45. And again, there are others that may not have age limits. And so what I can simply say is that, there is something for everyone out there. And all you have to do is pay attention to the eligibility criteria.
Okay. Doc, people might be wondering, he's talking about scholarship. Has he ever been participating in any of these other scholarships? Has he ever gone outside Africa for a scholarship? Tell the people, I know they would want to know if you've done this so that they want to follow a footstep. So have you ever been going out to any scholarship, attended any scholarship?
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful question. So in a nutshell, what I can simply say that is that I have actually had opportunities to benefit from scholarships, that is, to be specific, within the country scholarships. So, the scholarships that funded my undergraduate program was, fully funded from the government of the Republic of Zambia. And when I did my first master's to specialize in psychiatry, again, I was fully funded by the government of the Republic of Zambia. And then, during my studies at master's level, I had the opportunity of, receiving scholarships that helped me to have some experience outside of the country. So, for example, I got a scholarship, a travel award to go to Senegal, so where I was fully funded in terms of travel and living expenses in Senegal. And in addition to that, I received one scholarship which was sort of like a game changer to me. This scholarship was a scholarship for me to go and study in Australia on a short course program. So this scholarship was in such a way that we had to spend 3 weeks in Australia at an Australian university and 3 weeks in Cape Town, receiving mentorship from, scholarly professors at University of Stellenbosch and University of Cape Town. But again, the funding came from the Australian government. And this scholarship was more of a professional development, which was meant to help us, to equip us with skills that would help us to sort of like improve the state of mental health care services in Africa. So the funding was given to 24, participants from different parts of Africa. And I was one of the participants there. So I spent 3 weeks in Australia and 3 weeks in Cape Town. And during the time that I spent, I received a full stipend every week, that covered my living expenses, and my accommodation was well sorted out. My travel and my visa expenses were all sorted out, as well as the in-country travel within Australia and within South Africa. They were all sorted out. So that was one scholarship. And then, in the year 2020, I got another scholarship, which was given to me by Africa CDC. This is like an arm of the African Union, to actually go and attend a short training in Mozambique, Maputo. And where this time I was also housed at a beach hotel, where we actually, stayed in a very, very expensive hotel. And so my food and accommodation was sorted out, as well as my travel And again, I was given some funding in terms of stipend. Yeah, so that was another scholarship. And the recent one, which was, which started off in 2021 and again ended this year in 2022 June, was what is called the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship Program, which I participated in. And this is a leadership development opportunity which comes to mid-career professionals. And these professionals should have actually shown exemplary leadership in their countries. And so I was one of those who was actually awarded this scholarship and then spent time in the United States interacting with professors, both in the academic arena as well as in the non-academic arena in the professional circles, just to see how work is done in the United States. And then from there, sort of creating professional networks and contacts. And these networks have become so important to me because they have kept opening up more opportunities. And I feel it is really wonderful that I participated in such programs. So in a nutshell, that is basically what the scholarships have been on so far. But suffice to say that, other than opening up more in networking opportunities, even more scholarship opportunities have actually come up. So for example, I'm currently on a fully funded scholarship where my tuition is fully covered, and I'm actually pursuing another master's program at Virginia Commonwealth University. And the beauty of this master's program that I'm doing, the master's program in addiction studies, it is a program that is actually covered. It's an international program in addiction studies that is actually handled by 3 different universities. The first university is Virginia Commonwealth University. And this is where I got a scholarship through this university. And then the other university is King's College London, which is based in London. And then the other university is University of Adelaide. This is a university which is based in Australia. So 3 different countries actually running a program. So that is a program that I am on at the moment, not doing it on distance, but I am looking ahead to actually doing a PhD program in the United States again, and we will see how that unfolds, even as we look at other opportunities.
That is so inspiring, Doc, and I know my people there will get so much inspired. So now there's another question. How was the experience in terms of culture and food? I know these countries of travel. I know this is one of the things that are difficult to get to. How was the experience in terms of food and culture in these other countries? How were you able to adjust so that you live like normal people in their countries? Especially, you told us you were in the USA for 11 months, which is almost close to a year. How did it get used to the environment here?
Well, initially, I think I did experience a bit of cultural shock. Yeah, and that is in terms of the food. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of restaurant eating when it comes to food in the United States. And so I had to navigate, how do I live in this country where the food is really sort of like different from the food that I'm accustomed to back home. And so I had to borrow into one aspect of me, which is being adventurous. So first of all, I had to be adventurous and look for, opportunities in terms of food. So I had to test out, different cuisines so that I could actually see which one would be a perfect fit for me. So I found myself, testing food from India, testing food from China, from my Chinese friends, and also, food from Mexico, from our Mexican friends and things like that. Then, that's in itself was really a wonderful experience, because America is in itself a multicultural country. So you have different cultures there. And not only that, I was also able to find food from our African stores. So African stores are also very much available. So I was able to get information from some of the African friends that are living in the United States to say, where can I, buy foods which are Zambian in nature? And so they actually showed me some of the African stores. and I would go there and get foods and just ensure I stock enough so that I am able to do my own meals. So I was able to actually do most of my cooking so that I, sort of emulate the home environment, as in the Zambian environment, just to make sure that I'm eating food that I am accustomed to, even as I explored, other cultures in terms of the food that they prepare. So that is how I managed to, yeah. But
Okay.
other issues that came up is, of course, the culture and even, the way people would actually speak. You find that maybe they speak so fast, and so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and so you have to
Serious culture shock.
you have to get used to understanding them. But you see, one thing that I learned was that it's important to ask when you don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case someone is speaking fast and you are not able to get them, it's okay to simply say, excuse me, I didn't get what you were saying. Yeah, so that they can repeat what they said. Yeah, and
Oh,
it was
that's
really,
very much important.
they would not
That
get
is very much
angry. Yeah, so that is how
serious.
we got by. And
Okay.
then I think with our 11 months, we eventually caught up with some of these cultural shocks. And it was never
Yeah,
cultural shock
yeah,
anymore because we got acclimated
yeah.
to the environment. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, would you give us a list of universities that offer this scholarship that you've been talking about? Because people would want, which is specific university give this scholarship? Maybe just 5 or 2 are enough. So that people, as they go on search, that they go online to search, they know they have to search specific university.
Well, when it comes to that question, I don't really think it would be wise for me to give out just
Okay.
five
Okay.
universities which offer these scholarships. Yeah, because like I said, the scholarships they vary in terms of
Okay.
type.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is usually variable in terms of the eligibility criteria. But what I can simply say on this question is that almost every university abroad
Okay. Okay.
offers scholarships. Almost,
Okay.
almost
Okay.
every university abroad offers scholarships. And
Okay.
we have actually done a guide on how to actually search for these scholarships, search for universities that may
Okay.
have scholarships, you know, in some of these regions. For example, I recently did a video on our YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I
Okay.
may need to say at this point that I actually run a YouTube channel, and the name of the
Okay.
YouTube channel is BMI Care TV. So on that
Okay.
channel, we share
Okay.
scholarship opportunities that are available in different
Okay.
parts of the world, and we share
Okay.
additional opportunities that may help people to develop in terms of leadership and
Okay.
generally just other opportunities, yeah, so that you guys can actually take advantage of. And so what I was basically saying is that on that channel we recently shared a video that was giving guidance on how to search for scholarships that may
Okay.
have funding in Australia. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we shared that video on our YouTube channel, which was giving guidance on how to search for universities that may have funding in
Okay.
Australia. So that if you follow that pattern, you find that you actually be able to, you know, go into the university portal itself and look for
Okay.
the scholarships that the universities are offering. So what I've come to realize is that almost every university abroad offers
Okay.
scholarship. But what
Okay.
matters is what level of scholarship is being offered. Is it a
Okay.
fully funded scholarship? Is it a partial scholarship? And those are the nitty-gritties that we go into so that when we look into that, then we are able to actually conclude to say this is a fully funded scholarship. So if I apply for this one, I'll be stress-free in terms of looking for funding to sort out my payments at the university if I'm accepted at a university abroad. So that's what I can say.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, Doc. So now, as we are coming to the conclusion of this interview, would you recommend people to apply for this scholarship?
Yes, because what I can say on that one is that when you look at funding for academic studies or professional development in itself, it's very, very expensive to self-fund your studies abroad.
Okay.
And not only that, it's actually very, very, very expensive to fund your studies, even just within your own countries. And so when you get a scholarship, a scholarship is simply helping you to ease, the challenges that come with self-funding. So even if you got just a full children coverage, and then at least you can sort out your living expenses, you know that at least when you're abroad in countries like Canada, for example, you'd be able to work outside of campus, and get some additional money, which would be able to help you with living expenses. So, yeah, so that's why I would actually encourage, if someone is really considering to go and do their studies abroad, like in the United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, I would encourage them to really consider going through the route of a scholarship, because that too is the challenge that they may have to face when it comes to looking for funds to sort out, their payments for academic studies.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this interactive and informative interview that we've had. So now I'm going to ask you to tell the people where you are found and where they can get more information about this scholarship, or give them your channel, and you can also give us, we are just new in this year, on what you recommend people starting today, because this is a new year. So what would people look forward in this new year? Tell us, and give them where they can do the search on your channel so that people are able to follow you on your channel.
Yes, so friends, you can actually find me on our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is active, it's up and running, and we are basically looking for more people to win scholarships this year. And so this year is essentially for winning. And if you want to be part of the winning team, friends, I would encourage you to, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, the BMI Care TV. I know Mr. Levi Msende is going to put that YouTube channel link in the description box of this video. And so at your own time, please look for that, link. And if anything, you can reach out to Mr. Levi Msende himself in case you are not able to see that link, so that he can personally share the link with you. And also, you could also reach out to me via LinkedIn, where you can find me. You can also find me on Twitter, just using my names, Brian Maila. Then you'll be able to inbox me on LinkedIn as well as Twitter. Those would be the platforms that you can reach me on, and then I'll be able to share the YouTube channel with you. And so going forward, what I would recommend is that when you come to that channel, I have just done a video, on this first day of January 2023. I have just done a video, and this video is actually talking about, scholarships that are available for undergraduate, master's programs, as well as PhD programs in Hungary. Okay, Hungary is a country that is in Central Europe, and these scholarships are actually available for application. Countries that have relationships with the Hungarian government actually are able to benefit from these scholarships. So if you watch that video, you will actually be able to see the how to go about it in that particular video. So that scholarship opportunity is open up to 16th of January this month. And so you essentially have some time.
2 weeks.
You have about 2 weeks for you to apply for that particular scholarship. And the beauty about this scholarship, friends, is that the scholarship is covering full tuition. So meaning you will be, able to have access to free tuition, no need to pay tuition fees. And then in addition to that, the scholarship is also covering, accommodation. It's also covering medical insurance fees. And in addition, it's also covering the monthly living stipend, which will be able to assist you with living expenses. And not only that, When you're in Hungary as a student, you are also able to work for about 30 hours part-time. And that will be able to give you additional money in case of incidental expenses that you may actually have. So if you do come to our YouTube channel, that would be the first video that I would encourage you to watch. And then from there, you can go on to watch other videos where we have shared, various opportunities. Because we have currently about 27 videos on our channel, which you can watch at your own time. And some of these opportunities are still open for application. So it's really up to you, friends. As I have already alluded to, that there is something for everybody out there. And all you have to do is simply look out for such scholarship opportunities in the right channels. And some of these channels are the channels that we are sharing with you here on this platform. And for those that are looking to study undergraduate study on a scholarship opportunity, I can simply tell you that the Hungarian government scholarship is one of the best, because undergraduate scholarships are very difficult to find. But when you find one, you really want to jump on that.
Just maybe you can explain to people what is undergraduate. Fresh from senior high school, then you are considered undergraduate. You can participate. Others would want you to start at PhD and maybe at master's. But this one is just fresh from grade 12 in Zambia and maybe fresh from senior high school. You can go under this scholarship. In conclusion,
yes.
I would like to thank you, Doctor, for giving me an opportunity to interview you and give this informative information to the people out there. Thank you so much, people. Please don't forget to subscribe to these two channels. The other one, the doctor just explained. I'll put the link on my after uploading this video. My channel is called To The End TV. People, we love you and thank you for giving us so much zeal to keep on producing these videos. Otherwise, you've really done a great job, and we love you, and we shall continue giving you this information free of charge. We love you, people. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.